Hello, hello, hello. This is Gresh from the I Am CEO podcast. I have a very special guest on the show today. I have Oscar Diaz of TechBound Technology. Oscar, it's awesome to have you on the show.
Yeah, glad to be here as well.
No problem. Super excited to have you on as well. And before we jumped in, I want to read a little bit more about Oscar so you can hear about all the awesome things that he's doing. And Oscar has 20 years of experience in the IT industry. Oscar studied information technology engineering at Unitech. During his 5-year program, he worked as a coding instructor and participated in several university programs to attract new students to the faculty. After graduating, Oscar started working in the telecommunications industry at Digital Core. His first position at Digital was a systems administrator, where he had several servers under his responsibility, including the email systems that supported 3,000 users. In the next 5 years, Oscar demonstrated he was willing to take on new challenges and responsibilities, and this allowed him to climb the organization's ladder and earn a management position where he was in charge of the server infrastructure running on Microsoft products. After that, Oscar moved to the positions of application manager, where he was in charge of business intelligence, web application development, and customer liaison units. And after 10 years working in the enterprise world and seeing the opportunity of bringing enterprise IT practices to small and medium-sized businesses, Oscar founded TechBound Technology in 2011. The goal of the company was to bring quality IT services to business owners and help them navigate the challenges of using IT in their business. TechBound has grown ever since and now has a presence in Calgary, Vancouver, and Latin America. Oscar sponsors several children through a not-for-profit organizations like World Vision and Christian's Children's Foundation Fund, and has a passion for helping children to get involved in sports activities to promote family values, respect for others, and encourage them to become the best that they can be. Oscar, you're doing many phenomenal things, my friend. Are you ready to speak to the IMCO community?
Yes, I'm ready. Yeah, let's do it.
Awesome. Let's do it then. So I know I touched on your story a little bit in your bio. Could you take us through anything additional that you can tell us about your CEO story? We'll let you get started with the business.
Yeah, so essentially, I started ClickBank, as you also mentioned, in 2011. And what happened is that before that, I used to work enterprise level. Okay. So, and the IT environment, the way the IT works in enterprise level is very, very, there are processes, it's very structured. There is a lot of process and procedure you have to follow in order to be able to run in a IT department in the enterprise level. So then what I realized in 2011 is that those procedures, that structure doesn't exist for mid-sized businesses. So they need IT, they need technology, but there is no structure whatsoever. So there was an opportunity there. I founded TechBound Technology to bring that expertise from enterprise to the mid-sized businesses, because I mean, technology is very important today. Now it's more important than ever, and will be important for the next decades. Who knows when? So yeah, that's basically the main reason how we started TechBound.
Yeah, it's so funny you said that. Not too long ago, I wrote this blog post where I say people you're starting to hear people say we're a technology company that does this, we're a technology company that does real estate, we're a technology company that does cooking products, we're a technology company that does this, that, and the third, because it's literally in everything that we do. And as you said so well, being able to kind of not just make that available for those enterprise level businesses and have that knowledge and information, but be able to help those small to medium sized businesses to be able to leverage that and understand that, and to be able to really make sure that they're leveraging themselves and their businesses to the best that they can.
Yeah, and the interesting thing is that you can find technology in businesses. I'm going to give you an example. One of our customer is diesel shop. They repair heavy duty trucks.
Mm-hmm.
So you might think, what the hell? So do they use it technology? Yes, they do. So essentially, if they don't have a computer to run a diagnosis on the truck, but to fix it, the trucks today are computers on wheels. So they have computers. You need systems. You need software in order to be able to know what's going on with the truck, and then start repairing the truck. So that's, and when you see something like that, you see a company. The only thing that it does is repair trucks. So where's technology here? Well, they don't. They need the technology in order to do their job. So that's the way that technology nowadays has been plugged in our life, right?
Yeah, absolutely. It's so funny. Like I think I read something where it said if you look at the very first computers, they would blush at like the coffee machines just because the technology they have within them is so robust compared to what it used to be. So you're absolutely right. Where it's literally in everything that we see. So I wanted to drill down a little bit deeper. I know I read it in your bio. Could you take us through a little bit more on how you work with your clients and some of those solutions you provide for these businesses?
Yeah. So what TechBound does is what is known in the industry as a managed service provider.
Mhm.
Essentially, what that is an IT provider, IT company that works with their customers to run their IT department. We become the IT department for our customers, and essentially, what that means is that if we go to enterprise level, for example, you have a department that looks for after the servers, the help desk, the projects, processes, procedures, that kind of activities. We moved that to the small businesses. So the idea there is to help them, not just to just providing a regular help desk or user support when they have a problem with the printer or their computers or browsing internet, but also to making sure they have all their processes in place to have security awareness training, that they have a strategy, that they have a budget, that they have everything up to date, because it's important to have everything patched and up to date. So, and that's basically what the service is about. But on top of that, also we work with our customers to understand what they do, and essentially is how their business, what their business does, what services provide, and where the problems are. Because once you understand what they're doing, then you can see how IT or technology can help them and those problems, and potentially also to be an edge for and against their competition. So, and the final portion of all this is to, because the IT or technology is remote, so we're doing everything remote nowadays. The majority of the service can be provided over the phone. So, but when you do it like that all the time, and then you lose that face-to-face contact, that business, that human relationship. So we add that component as well, so people can see there is someone behind the phone, there is an actual human working with them, there is someone that actually cares about the technical problem, and that's trying to help them to figure out how to get the best out of the technology.
Yeah, and that's so huge. It almost sounds like, and definitely correct me if I'm wrong, you're like an IT partner. You're a partner in their business because you understand their business. You understand some of those kind of, I guess, nuances of not just what they probably need now, but probably what they need to grow and expand and reach all the goals that they have. But to be able to have that human touch, that human interaction on top of knowing their business and being able to kind of have that education, that experience, and all the knowledge that you have is probably a phenomenal thing.
Yeah. So, and the beauty of the work is that when you start working with a customer, they're having all sort of problems, technical problems. The printer is not working, the network is slow, Wi-Fi is not working, and that you tackle those problems and you fix those problems for your customers, and then the conversation translated to, let's see what else we can do, or what things we can bring to the business in order to innovate, to improve, to bring new services. That's when we get to that point where our customers, and basically we get with all of them, and to that point where they start thinking not just to, okay, this printer is going to work or not. They're now still thinking, okay, what can I do in order to bring more services to our customers using
Mhm.
technology? And that is the beauty of the job, because once we get to that point, we know that the basics are there, the foundations are there. Now we can start improving and moving forward.
Yeah, it sounds like you really get to that innovation level and you're able to not just, like you said, get the printer working, but you start to create and develop solutions to not only help out that client, but help out your clients, and so on and so forth.
Yeah, that's correct. And there is a particular example with one of my customers that they
Mhm.
wanted to create a piece of software for their internal processes, and we did it for them. And now is he uses that piece of software as something unique in their business.
Mhm.
So when he's talking to their customers and trying to differentiate from themselves from the competition, they say, okay, we have this. This is the way we manage our customers, and that's something that we built for them. And it was their idea, and we helped them to build the software. And that's the part that is unique and beauty of the services that we provide.
Yeah, I love that. And so, would you consider that to be what I call your secret sauce, the thing you feel kind of sets either you personally apart or your business apart and makes it unique? Is it that ability to kind of have that partnership, be able to see somebody's vision, hear their vision, and be able to help them create and develop these solutions?
Yeah, it is part of the secret sauce, as you said. So, which is basically understand what they're doing, right? So
Hmm.
once you become part of their business, then you start helping them. Okay, that is very key, and the way that we deliver it, IT services, and the other one is just to have that connection, that relationship with our customer, because otherwise there is not that relationship, then there is no way for us to learn what they're doing, and also there is no way for us to build a trust, a relationship where they can share information with us, so we can help them. And also, and this kind of interaction also with the help us is that to help them in other activities. We have customers that they have fundraisers every year, and they ask for help, and say, and this is not, this is, can you help, can you be one of the sponsors? Yes, for
Hmm.
sure, let's do it. And once you build that relationship, then everything just basically flows, and you can help them in other areas as well.
Yeah, and I think to me it kind of speaks to that human aspect that you brought up earlier, of the business of us as CEOs, entrepreneurs, and business owners, and having causes and things that we stand behind, and being able to kind of look for help and to be there in so many different ways. Obviously, if the printer goes out, but also if there's causes that these entrepreneurs and business owners stand behind, to be there for them creates and builds that strong foundation in that relationship.
Yes, and at the end, so companies are made of people.
Yeah,
People is pretty much a company. So if
hmm,
and there is not that relationship, there is no way not to be successful, and or to bring new services or new things or
yeah.
goods to market. So and that's very important, especially these days when you have a really strong relationship with your customers, because nowadays are a little bit complicated right now with all the situation around the world. So, and we have to help each other in order to go through all this craziness happening right at the moment, right?
Yeah, absolutely. We're definitely all in this together, where we want to be or not. We're all kind of experiencing a lot of frustration, a lot of change, and a lot of shifting in things. But I love that, you've been able to help so many people out as far as doing that in organizations. And so I wanted to switch gears a little bit, and I wanted to ask you for what I call a CEO hack. So this could
Mhm.
be like an app, a book, or a habit that you have, but what's something that makes you more effective and efficient?
So I'm gonna talk. This is it's gonna sound like crazy, and sometimes I feel that it's kind of a witchcraft when it
Hmm.
happens. Is that I'm gonna talk about two books in particular. One is by Napoleon Hill, Think and Grow Rich. That's an amazing book. That's crazy things. And the other one is by Chris Voss, Never Split the Difference. I don't know if you ever heard about him. Chris Voss was ex hostage and negotiator in the FBI, so the guy
Okay.
knows how to negotiate.
Yeah,
So the
absolutely.
thing is here, the two things here is that you need to focus and visualize yourself in the things that you want to have it, and feel it like you have it, feel it that you're having at the moment, and start working towards it. But as long as you feel it that it's happening, it will happen. And then second, it's like a witchcraft because if you read those two books and you understand what they're saying and you apply what they're saying, even though that you believe it's craziness or madness what they're saying, it happens. And it happened to me. And every time that happens, you say, oh, Jesus, it's true.
Yeah,
I would say that's a hack, a really,
it's
really good hack.
it's definitely a hack. I love those two books, and and I haven't read Never Split the Difference. I've heard about it. I've heard the phrase, as well too. I've heard, Napoleon's Hill, but it's so scary and powerful how much your visualization in your mind goes. Because no matter what you're thinking, even if you're not actively doing it, a lot of times you're gonna go there. So if you're always thinking like, oh, I don't want to fail, I think I'm gonna fail, this is not gonna work out, sometimes you end up failing. But a lot of times, if you have that mindset where you're like, this is where I want to go, this is my goals, this is what I want to see in my life and my business, and so on and so forth, you start to really build that momentum, build that energy, and start to see some of those things come up in your life.
Yeah, and the scary part of all of what they teach in those books is exactly what you're saying. So once you understand that whatever you think, good or bad, if you think enough and you put a lot of energy into it, it will happen. So if you're start thinking on bad things, that something is not working out, or you're, let's put it this way, let's say that you go to a meeting with a customer, a prospect, and you start thinking all the bad things, all the negative things that happen at that meeting, I bet you that you will have a really, really bad time with that customer because you're putting all your energy into that. However, if you think trying to find the positive, when all the good things that happen in the meeting, and focus on those one, for sure. If you had a problem with that customer, or you were not really sure you're getting a sales, uh, but you focus on the positive things, it will happen. And you improve your relationship with your customer, or will make the sales. And that the scary part is that whatever you think, if you put in the energy into it, it will happen. So then you have to train yourself to think positive all the time.
Yeah, and I love how you said that last phrase, train yourself, because I think so many times we forget that that's something that can, be done just like working out a muscle that you can train, you can pay attention to things as the things that you put in. I think so many times people think that, you just wake up and then you're always thinking positive when sometimes it's in your perspective and the people that you have around you, the things you're putting in your mind and your body, so on and so forth, and how you start to train yourself towards that.
Yeah, and it is as you're saying, it's a muscle. So you have to training, and the difficult part is at the very beginning, people, I don't know why, is people is trained to think in
Mhm.
negative things. So that's the easiest part.
Yeah.
So trying to then retrain yourself, or your mind, or your brain to switch gears to positive takes time. But once you do it, you will find that everything you will find a positive from any bad situation that you go through.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a lot of times it's all about perspective, and you're able to control your mind and control how you look at those experiences and things that are going on. So, absolutely love that hack. And so now I wanted to ask you for what I call a CEO nugget. And this could be a word of wisdom or piece of advice. It might be something you would tell a client, or if you hopped into a time machine, you might tell your younger business self.
So if I were back in time and talk to myself, I would say start early.
Mm,
So the business, so and just do it. I mean, don't think, don't rethink, don't overthink things. Just do it, because that's the only way to for someone for wants to actually start something. So if you overthink and think about to try to find the best moment to do it, the reality is that there is never a good time to do it. Thing. So it's just better to do it. If you're gonna fail, just fail, learn from it, and start over again. So that would be the that nugget that that I would tell myself if I travel in time and find myself to say, hey, this is what you have to do now.
yeah, absolutely. And if you see my younger business self, definitely tell him the exact same thing, because it's so important to not get caught up in the perfect time, because you always think that, oh, this now is not the right time. And we have to understand that maybe it's not the right time, but there's never a perfect time. Sometimes we're looking for that perfect time, and we get caught in a situation where we turn into analysis by paralysis. We're thinking, oh, if the stars align and the trees are the perfect color and the wind's blowing perfectly, then I'll start my business. That time never comes. So a lot of times you have to take that action and learn from it and continue to take action upon action upon action. And that can get you to where you want to be.
Yeah, the important thing is, as you're saying, is if you wait for that perfect time, it will never happen. And if it ever happens, I bet you that you will find that something else is not right, quite right. So
Right.
you will never start. So just do it. Start. Let's see how it goes, and make the changes you have to make in the process. Because at the end, even though that you have a plan, the good thing about the plan is that you can change the plan, you can adjust the
Mhm.
plan, you have to adjust the plan in the process. And that's the beauty of this. So you just start just doing it, and start learning from it.
Yeah, absolutely. And be ready to kind of pivot and change from that. So absolutely appreciate that nugget. And so now I want to ask you my absolute favorite question, which is the definition of what it means to be a CEO. And we're hoping to have different quote unquote CEOs on this show. So Oscar, what does being a CEO mean to you?
Oh shoot, a CEO for me is a person that is doing these things. First of all, is obviously learning and running a business. Second of all, looking after his employees, and also taking care of their customers. The I would say the most important one, I think, is the second one, is to take care, look after your employees. If your employees are happy, they like what you're doing, what they're doing, they believe in what you're doing, they basically breathe and talk your same mantra, then they will look after your customers. So that what I think is the definition for a CEO is.
I absolutely love that because I think so many times we forget that the people that are on our team members are an extension of who we are. And if we're not taking care of them, more than likely they're not going to be taking care of the clients and the customers that we have. But it kind of starts when you figure out how to I guess move beyond yourself and be able to make impact beyond yourself, and by empowering and taking care of the customers, that gets them, fired up and desire, I mean your of your employees, gets them desire, get them fired up and desires to really serve and be the best of their abilities in working with your customers.
Yeah. So and the challenges is that when you start a business, probably it's just yourself and another person. And I would say at that moment it's easier for you to be the face or to be
Mhm.
the one-on-one with all your customers. But once you start growing, then you have to rely more and more on your the people that work with you. And then if you have to make sure that they are okay, that you understand where you're going, because as you're saying, they're an extension of you. So
Mhm.
they are you for all matters. So for all purpose, from
Yeah.
the customer point of view, they are you. So then whatever they say, whatever they how they behave, is like if you were doing the same thing. So
Mhm.
yeah, so you have to look after your employees, your staff, your colleagues, and so they can do what you're expecting to do in regards to your and how to treat your customers.
Yeah, absolutely. As you grow and you scale out and you get more and more people involved, it becomes more a test of your leadership skills and
Yeah.
the foundation and the culture that you've created. Because if that isn't up to par, then you'll find out very quickly. But it's so important, when it's done well, then you really start to have a well-oiled machine, so to speak. So, Oscar, truly appreciate that definition, and I appreciate your time even more. What I wanted to do is pass you the mic, so to speak, just to see if there's anything additional you can let our readers and listeners know. And of course, how best they can get a hold of you, get a copy of the awesome book that I know you have available, and all the great things that you're working on.
Yeah, so we have just I work in a book with other specialists and experts around cybersecurity. It's a really nice book. It's really easy to understand. There, it's not techy, believe it or not, but it's just for small businesses, so they know what's out there, what they can do in order to mitigate risks. The name of the book is On the Thin Ice. It's available in Amazon, and you can buy it anytime. So I prepare myself. I wrote a chapter there in around security for mobile devices, and then they provide a few tips on how to protect your company, your employees when using wireless networks. For example, one of the things is that when you go to, I'm gonna give you one tip right now. So when you go to a mall, don't use a free Wi-Fi. You
Mm.
don't know who's actually using that free Wi-Fi. Then that's when the problem starts.
Yeah, absolutely. And I definitely appreciate that. We will have the links and information in the show notes as well too, for people to get a hold of Oscar, get a copy of the book. And that's absolutely a great nugget, because I think so many times we forget about all the vulnerabilities that we have, and sometimes being out using the free Wi-Fi and not having like a secure device not only opens us up to things right there, but opens up to things later on as people have
Yeah.
gotten access to our devices. So I appreciate you for obviously writing that chapter and informing us today and all the great things that you're working on.
Yeah, no, you're welcome. So anytime. So it's very important today to have a security in mind. So the phones now are any mobile device is like a door to your house, to your
Mhm.
network, to your house, to your information. So you have to. So someone wants to have to be very careful how to use them.
Yeah, absolutely. It's just absolutely huge. So I appreciate you for doing that. Thank you so much again, Oscar, and I hope you have a phenomenal rest of the day.
Thank you. Pleasure to be here.